Good evening. It's 6:30 on May 4th, 2021, and it's time for the 69th annual meeting of Columbia Credit Union to come to order. I'm Kelly Love, Chair of Columbia's Board of Directors. Also with me this evening is Steve Kenny, our President and CEO. As we all continue to stay home and stay healthy, our annual meeting will be held under special rules adopted by the board for a physically distanced meeting. Attendance is limited to a few essential employees and myself, and a recording of our meeting will be available tomorrow on columbiacu.org. The following requirements have been met for this meeting. Under Columbia Community Credit Union's bylaws, Articles 4, Section 7, when elections are held by acclamation because all open positions are uncontested, the quorum is the number of members eligible to vote who registered to attend this meeting, and our quorum has been met. Starting with our December 2020 call for candidates on our website, we've posted ongoing notification to our membership of this annual membership meeting as required under Columbia Community Credit Union's bylaws, Articles 4, Section 3. At this time, I am pleased to introduce my fellow board of directors. They are Max Alt, Tracy Malone, Juliana Marler, Eric Sawyer, Dina Strong, Marcy White Stump, Joseph Vance, and Carol Van Netta. And our supervisory committee, Chair Dick Thompson, Judy Chipman, Dave Dumas, Tony Jackson, and Paul Montague. Next, I recognize and thank our members standing for election this year on the board of candidates, myself, Kelly Love, Eric Sawyer, and Marcy White Stump. Also, our candidates for supervisory committee, Tim Schauer and Lynn Valenter. The board of directors, with the authority given in our CW 31.12.185, has adopted special rules of procedure for this meeting. These rules and our meeting agenda will be available on our website with the recording of this meeting. And the documents that affect the meeting are in descending order: the Washington State Credit Union Act, Chapter 3112, RCW, Columbia Credit Union's bylaws, the adopted special rules for the meeting, and Robert's Rules of Orders, newly revised 11th edition. Per the resolution passed by the membership at the 2006 annual meeting, last year's minutes were approved by the board on June 2nd, 2020, and can be viewed on Columbia's website. After the board meets to approve this year's annual meeting minutes, you will find them online as well. Our 2020 annual report is available on our website. You can find our supervisory committee's report there as well. If you'd like a copy of our 2020 audited financial statement, please contact our interim CFO, Penny Harris. The supervisory committee reports that Columbia's financial condition remains strong and that internal controls, policies, and the operations of this credit union comply with governmental regulations. Now, in my chair's report, let's take a look at some of the 2020 highlights also found in our annual report. As the area adjusted to the changes brought on by COVID pandemic, more of our neighbors turned to us for their financial needs. Our membership continued to grow. During the year, membership grew to 103,160 members. Columbia Credit Union continues to serve nearly 1/3 of Clark County's households. Overall, Columbia Credit Union saw solid performance during the year, producing return on assets of 0.65%. Next, I'll review additional highlights of our 2020 annual report's statement of financial condition. In 2020, Columbia Credit Union surpassed $2 billion in assets for the first time in our history, ending the year at $2.1 billion. Our liabilities were $1.8 billion, up more than $386 million from year-end 2019. Deposits were up more than $383 million from the prior year, with total shares of more than $1.8 billion at year-end, and equity reached $203 million. Our 2020 statement of income shows a total net operating income of $63.4 million, less operating expense of $51.1 million, ending the year with total net income of nearly $12.3 million. I already mentioned that assets hit a new record high in 2020, growing $400 million during the year. Well, as this chart shows, we've seen steady growth in assets over the past 5 years to more than $2.1 billion at year-end 2020. In 2020, deposits also continued a 5-year trend of steady growth, increasing by $383 million to $1.8 billion. Columbia Credit Union, like many financial institutions, saw loan demand fall as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. During the year, total loans declined by $63 million, our first decrease in net loans since the Great Recession in 2009. And although demand for most types of loans declined in 2020 as a result of the pandemic, historic low rates drove member demand for home loans to record levels. Loan quality was excellent too. Our charge-offs for the year were only 27 basis points. Before I turn the presentation over to Columbia Credit Union's President and CEO, Steve Kenny, on behalf of the entire Board of Directors, I want to thank Steve, the credit union's management, the staff, and the membership for their patience, loyalty, trust, and flexibility as we've met 2020's pandemic-related challenges and opportunities head-on together. Now here's Steve Kenny with his President's Report, highlighting this past year's achievements and providing us a glimpse of what's ahead for Columbia Credit Union in 2021.
Thank you, Kelly. We had many successes in 2020, as Kelly just reported. As members hunkered down to weather the pandemic, we saw a very strong year for deposit growth as members spent less and made extraordinary deposits from PPP loan funds and economic impact payments. Deposits grew 25.6% during the year, and total assets grew 23.5%. With this growth, Columbia Credit Union remains the largest locally based financial institution in Clark County. We continue to meet our membership's needs during the year, facilitating 11,684 skipped loan payments totaling $4.8 million and originating almost $250,000 in short-term bridge loans. We also made 614 PPP loans for more than $45 million to help our local businesses save approximately 5,000 jobs for our friends, families, and neighbors. And we partnered with the Community Foundation for Southwest Washington on the state's All In campaign. Our $100,000 grant was matched by the state and by the Ed and Dolly Lynch Foundation, turning our gift into $300,000 in vital community COVID relief. As we responded to mandated physical distancing requirements in our branches, our members also responded by shifting their interactions with us to digital service options. Online banking enrollment grew 5.9% year over year. Mobile banking enrollment grew 16.1%. External transfers and person-to-person payments grew 20.9%. And the MX Money Management enrollment grew 16.5%. And mobile wallet transactions grew 243%, with the dollar amount of those transactions growing by 555%. Our member service call center also saw increased use as members sought service options to help reduce physical contact. Total call volume grew 12% year over year, and our new telephone interpreter service, which launched in April of 2020, served 573 members in 14 different languages, an indicator of our membership's diversity. Moving approximately half our staff to remote work and adjusting to protocols to keep everyone protected from the COVID pandemic kept us all on our toes, but it didn't stop us from relocating our Richfield branch to the beautiful new Discovery Ridge Shopping Center anchored by Rose Hours Grocery Store. We introduced e-receipts for members who conduct transactions in our branches and member service call center. We added the capability for members to add their Columbia CU credit cards and business debit cards to their mobile wallets. And for member businesses In addition to being a resource for SBA PPP loans, we introduced analysis checking, zero balance accounts, credit sweeps, and vault services. 2020 was another year of recognition for Columbia Credit Union. We received Bauer Financial's 5-star rating for the 7th consecutive year and maintained our WEAS recommended rating. And we were proud to again receive an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. These are all indicators of our safety, soundness, and member-first focus. For the 4th year in a row, the Portland Business Journal honored Columbia Credit Union with their Corporate Philanthropy Award for large businesses. This is an important award for us because it recognizes the support Columbia Credit Union and our employees provide to our communities throughout the year. We've been recognized as the best credit union in Clark County by the readers of the Columbian for the past 12 years. And we were named Best in Business Credit Union by Vancouver Business Journal readers for the 8th year. We were also proud to be voted best for investment services as well. Our mission at Columbia Credit Union is bringing people together to make life better for themselves and their communities. Beyond our double-matched grant to the Community Foundation of Southwest Washington, our staff and members participated in virtual fundraising efforts to support American Heart Association and Dornbecker's Children's Hospital. We wrapped up 2020's community service with the KPTV Toy Drive, Christmas tree discounts, and support of local veterans organizations. We were honored to see firsthand the heartfelt effects of our planned acts of kindness and generosity. 2020 was a year for the history books. We navigated through a pandemic, gave back, and planned for the future. And 2021 will continue adapting to service delivery preferences, making it easy to do business with us, whether in person or digitally. We'll continue to assess modern workplace structures as we're dedicated to attracting and retaining excellent teams to serve our membership. We're dedicated to doing the right thing for our employees, membership, and our community that has created and supported our growth and success since 1952. In 2021, we want to make home ownership an option for even more of our members with FHA and VA loans. Because our service quality is a top priority for us, we're upgrading the way we collect feedback from our members using surveys that will give us more actionable results. And because our members live active lives, we'll enhance our website's chat function for more after-hour support, and we'll add a person-to-person payment system, allowing real-time payments to others. As we adapt to member preferences, we'll enhance capabilities for in-branch and remote digital document signing in 2021. We'll continue our omni-channel approach to allow our members to interact with us how and when they want. And we'll continue to focus on providing relevant consumer mortgage, business, and investment insurance services. We'll continue to strive to be a resource for the communities we serve. We'll establish and maintain partnerships with organizations that align with our values. We'll do our part to protect the environment where we live with sustainable practices, and we'll help make life better through educational workshops on a variety of timely topics. A special thanks to our directors and staff for supporting each other during 2020 as we pioneered what great service looks like during a pandemic. I'm especially grateful to our membership who inspire us to make life better every day. Now I'll turn the meeting back over to you, Kelly.
Thank you for the update, Steve. Our final business is the election of 3 board directors and 2 supervisory committee members. The term of these positions shall be until the 3rd annual meeting after tonight's meeting and until their successor is duly qualified and elected or appointed. We called for applicants in December 2020 and recruited 4 interested eligible members. The board nominating committee deemed qualified and nominated 3 applicants for the board director positions and 2 applicants for the supervisory committee positions. No members applied for nomination by petition. In accordance with the Columbia Credit Union bylaws, uncontested elections are held by acclamation. On behalf of the membership, I acclaim myself, Kelly Love, Eric Sawyer, and Marcy White Stump elected to the Board of Directors. And I acclaim Tim Schauer and Lynn Valenter elected to the Supervisory Committee. Congratulations to all. The Board of Directors thanks every member for your confidence and continued loyalty toward our financial cooperative, Columbia Credit Union. I would also like at this moment to recognize and thank two of our Supervisory Committee members, Judy Chipman and Dave Dumas, for their years of service. Judy has served 3 terms as a director and 2 terms as a Supervisory Committee member since 2006. She has now served the maximum number of consecutive terms of service allowed by our bylaws. We thank Judy for her contributions to our members and for her continued community advocacy. Dave has served as a member of our Supervisory Committee since 2013 and was subsequently reelected for his 3rd and final term in 2018. And we thank Dave for his contributions to our membership and his continued support of our community. And we have plaques to recognize Judy and Dave, which will be sent to them, but we wish them both all the best in the future and our gratitude for their service. This concludes the business of the 69th annual meeting. The meeting is now adjourned and the time is 6:47 p.m.